I could feel a whirlwind of emotions swirling inside me when my brother and his wife unexpectedly prohibited me from entering their home. This notion appeared strange and bewildering. Throughout our lives, I had shared a deep bond with my brother, and we navigated through both the highs and lows of life together. However, what could have transpired to prompt them to distance me? As weeks passed, my brother and his wife began to drift away, reducing our interactions to mere formality. Our once cordial gatherings now carried an air of unease. It was as though a curtain had descended upon the close-knit relationship we had shared. I couldn't help but wonder what had caused this abrupt transformation in our family dynamics. In an attempt to understand the situation, I initiated conversations with my brother, but he evaded my inquiries, offering vague responses and excuses. The growing rift between us was undeniable, and I couldn't shake the feeling that something substantial remained concealed beneath the surface. For the first time in years, our familial bond appeared fragile, and I grappled with the painful uncertainty of not knowing the truth behind the ban on my visits. I decided to respect their wishes and abstain from visiting their home, though the decision weighed heavily on my heart. Instead, I watched their lives unfold from a distance, piecing together clues and attempting to discern what had gone wrong. As I observed my brother and his wife navigate their newfound life, I noticed subtle shifts in their behavior. Their once unbreakable unity seemed to have developed hairline fractures. They disagreed more often, and tensions simmered beneath the surface of their interactions. While I remained an outsider to their daily lives, I couldn't help but sense the strain that had crept into their relationship. Our sporadic conversations provided few answers. My brother spoke cryptically about challenges they faced, but never delved into specifics. His wife's demeanor, once warm and welcoming, had grown distant, leaving me feeling like a stranger in my own family. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, I couldn't ignore the growing curiosity and concern that gnawed at me. What had truly transpired to lead to this unexpected estrangement? I had always been there for my brother, ready to offer support and advice, but now I felt helpless and excluded. The ban on my visits remained in place, and I was left in the dark, yearning for answers and desperately hoping that one day the truth would be revealed. With each passing day, I couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to the story than met the eye. Despite their attempts to keep me at bay, I remained determined to uncover the truth behind the rift that had torn through our once close-knit family. I began discreetly reaching out to mutual friends and acquaintances, hoping to gather any morsel of information that might shed light on the situation. It was during one of these conversations that I stumbled upon a lead that piqued my interest. An old friend of my brother's, Sarah, hesitantly revealed that she had overheard a heated argument between my brother and his wife one evening. Though she didn't catch every word, she mentioned the phrase manipulation and trust issues being tossed around. It was a vague clue, but it set my mind racing. I decided to confront my brother with this newfound information, hoping it might prompt him to open up. When I broached the subject, his expression shifted from guarded to uncomfortable. He admitted that they had been experiencing trust issues but remained tight-lipped about the details. The lack of transparency frustrated me, but it also fueled my determination to unravel the mystery. I delved deeper into the web of secrets, hoping to find the truth hidden beneath the surface. My journey was far from over, and I couldn't help but wonder what other revelations lay ahead. As I continued to dig for answers, the puzzle only seemed to grow more complex. My conversations with friends and acquaintances hinted at a deeper undercurrent of distrust and turmoil in my brother's marriage. The word manipulation lingered in my mind like an unsolved riddle. One evening, while attending a casual dinner party with mutual friends, I found myself seated next to my brother's wife, Emma. She had been reticent about the issues plaguing their relationship, but I couldn't help but feel that she held a key piece of the puzzle. With a cautious yet empathetic approach, I initiated a conversation with Emma. We discussed topics ranging from family to relationships, and slowly, she began to open up. Emma confessed to feeling overwhelmed by the weight of expectations and the desire to keep up appearances. She admitted that she had influenced my brother's decision to distance himself from me, driven by a misguided belief that it would somehow mend their strained marriage. Listening to her confession, I couldn't help but empathize with the internal struggles she had faced. It became evident that she was deeply remorseful for her actions, and I found myself torn between anger and understanding. Our conversation marked a turning point, and Emma's willingness to share her side of the story ignited a glimmer of hope for reconciliation. However, the road ahead remained uncertain, and I knew that uncovering the full truth and mending our fractured family would require time and effort. As I left the dinner party that night, the shadows of doubt and mistrust began to recede, replaced by a faint but persistent ray of hope. I was determined to navigate the complex emotions and challenges that lay ahead, all in the name of rebuilding the bonds that had once defined our family. My heart felt slightly lighter after my conversation with Emma. Her candid confession had provided a glimpse into the web of complexity that had ensnared our family. While I still yearned for more clarity, it was clear that progress had been made. In the days that followed, I continued to engage with Emma, slowly rebuilding the trust that had been eroded over time. She shared more about the internal struggles she had faced, grappling with the pressure to maintain a perfect facade in their marriage. I, too, divulged my emotions and experiences, helping her understand my perspective and my unwavering love for my brother. As Emma and I grew closer, my interactions with my brother also began to change. Though the wounds of our strained relationship still ran deep, I could sense a willingness on his part to at least engage in conversation. We started to discuss our shared past, the joys, and the hardships we had navigated together. Despite these small steps toward reconciliation, there were moments of lingering tension. Trust, once broken, couldn't be mended overnight. I realized that our family's healing would be a gradual process, one that required patience and understanding. During this period, I reached out to a therapist who specialized in family dynamics. Our sessions proved instrumental in helping us navigate the complexities of our relationships. The therapist guided us through conversations about trust, forgiveness, and rebuilding bonds. It was a challenging yet cathartic experience that allowed us to confront our demons and address the issues that had been festering beneath the surface. With each therapy session, our family began to heal. The once impenetrable rift began to shrink, and we rediscovered the joys of togetherness. The path to reconciliation was a long and arduous one, but the lessons we learned about trust, communication, and the enduring power of love made it all worthwhile. It was during one of our most candid sessions that my brother finally found the courage to reveal a hidden truth, one that had festered in the shadows for far too long. With a heavy heart, he disclosed that his wife, Emma, had been unfaithful to him. The weight of this revelation had haunted him for years, making him feel vulnerable and shattered. Emma had begged him not to reveal the truth, fearing that it would destroy our family and that I would never forgive her. In her fear, Emma had influenced my brother to distance himself from me, believing that by doing so, she could protect her secret and preserve their fragile marriage. She had convinced him that our close relationship was a threat, one that could expose her betrayal. As my brother shared this painful truth, I was overcome with a mix of emotions: anger, shock, and empathy. I could understand the fear and desperation that had driven Emma's actions, even if they were deeply misguided. Our family faced a new challenge in light of this revelation, one that tested the limits of forgiveness and understanding. While the truth was painful, it also offered an opportunity for healing and closure. My brother, Emma, and I embarked on a new phase of therapy, one that aimed to address the infidelity, its underlying causes, and the path forward. The revelation of Emma's infidelity had shattered the foundation of trust in our family, and I grappled with the realization that the rift between us ran deeper than we had ever imagined. We were faced with a daunting challenge, one that transcended the boundaries of our past conflicts. The truth, while excruciating, offered us an opportunity for genuine healing and closure. As the therapy sessions progressed, a complex web of emotions and secrets began to surface. Emma, burdened by guilt, confessed to her infidelity, revealing that it had occurred years ago and that it had been with none other than my brother's closest friend. The revelation sent shockwaves through our family, leaving us all reeling with disbelief. Emma recounted the details of her extramarital relationship, describing how it had unfolded behind closed doors, hidden from our prying eyes. The affair had been a clandestine affair, a betrayal that had festered in the shadows for far too long. Amid the turmoil, my brother grappled with his own emotions, torn between feelings of betrayal and a desire to salvage his marriage. He revealed that he had discovered Emma's affair years ago, but had chosen to keep it hidden, hoping that their relationship could heal without exposing the painful truth to the world. The therapist encouraged us to confront these emotions head-on, recognizing that only by acknowledging our pain and anger could we hope to move forward. In the wake of the therapy sessions and intense discussions, my brother reached his breaking point. The knowledge that Emma had not only been unfaithful, but had also done so with his closest friend had corroded the trust that had once bound their relationship. In a somber conversation with Emma, my brother found the strength to express the depth of his pain and disillusionment. He admitted that forgiveness, in this case, felt impossible. The years of deceit, compounded by the choice of an affair with his best friend, had eroded the foundation of their marriage beyond repair. Emma, overwhelmed by remorse and the consequences of her actions, understood the gravity of the situation. With tears in her eyes, she accepted the consequences of her betrayal. The marriage that had once held so much promise had crumbled under the weight of infidelity and deception. The decision to end their marriage was a heart-wrenching one, marking the final chapter of a relationship that had once been the cornerstone of our family. The revelation of Emma's infidelity had forever altered the trajectory of our lives, leaving us to grapple with the aftermath and the challenges of rebuilding our family without the presence of a once beloved member.